Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Just warming up here, and thanks for joining me for coming in. This is my website, in case you're wondering. That's my stuff. You can sign up for free things, including my video series. And to give a quick scope this afternoon, I'm exhausted actually for a very busy Sunday morning at my spiritual center. Turn that around. There we go. Oh, looks like a helicopter head. With that angle differently. Okay. Hi. My name is Barry Selby, and I am known as the Heartbreak Repair Specialist. My website, as you saw, is barryselby.com. Tons of good content, information, help about relationships. I'm here today because what came up right away, thank you for the hearts. I love the hearts. By the way, I was grateful because Friday, I broke through to 100,000 hearts, which is an amazing feeling of wow. And then a friend of mine said, can you help me get to 500,000 hearts? I'm like, oh, that's no fun. So I posted a meme yesterday on Facebook about when you're taking your exam at school, there's no point copying because everybody else has a different curriculum or something like that. And that's the truth. We all have different paths, different methods. Hi, good to have you here. Sorry, I have to do the glasses thing because I have to read the names. Annie, nice to have you here. So what I want to talk to you today about, or I should say start the conversation about, is a relationship as the massive mirror that it is. I'm passionate about relationships and I'm passionate about these hearts, so thank you for throwing up the screen. And by the way, please feel free to invite your followers, your friends, on Twitter, Facebook, etc., etc. This is more of a question and a provocative topic for you to ask questions from me, as I don't know how to spend an hour talking about this, there's no point. But I want to talk about how a relationship is a growing experience. And when you're in a relationship, and I see this folks on the West Coast, I'm thinking most of my UK friends will be asleep by now because it is almost midnight there. If you're here, it's great. I'd love to have you here. And if you're here for the first time, please type in your name, say hi, type new, something like that. And thank you for sharing on Twitter. I appreciate that. Thank you, Get Self-Belief. Hi. So, relationship as a mirror or reflection. I think I called it the Great Reflector is what I put in the title, and that's what it's about. It's easy to think the relationship is somewhere you get to be with somebody else, and you're going to be in it just to enjoy yourself, have a good time, maybe great sex, and that's all there is to it. I would say if you're investing your energy in a real relationship, you're going to see a lot of things reflected back to you, because what's going to show up in magnification is who you really are. So, Letitia, nice to have you here. Welcome. So, my context topic today is about that. How a relationship is in fact a reflector of who you are. Your partner reflects back to you, you see yourself that way, and how you're being received is magnified by this other person. See, when you're on your own, it's easy to get into the automatic pilot, to forget about yourself in some ways, which is strange when you're on your own, but you're so busy out there, you forget about this. But when you're in a relationship, you're going to get this reflection back to you. You're going to get opportunities, put it that way, for growth, for evolution, for deepening your own love because of the partnership you're in. One of the unspoken agreements of a healthy relationship, sometimes it is spoken, is that you are inviting your partner to shine a light. That's okay, you're welcome. It's to shine a light on the areas you have yet to grow into. And that can feel like a huge judgment, but it's actually a massive gift if you choose conscious relationship, which I'm a big fan of. And with my clients, hang careful, I'll get right back to you in a second in that. When you choose this, it's a massive opportunity. And I'm passionate about this work with my clients and with my work. Where I'm from, actually, is from Essex. I'm an Essex boy living in Los Angeles. Like kind of a Londoner, sort of a friend of mine from Colchester who lives out here too. We're both Brits. We've been at different times. We just happen to know each other through the same community. So yeah, it's funny because a lot of people I know on Periscope are local to where I'm from, which really cracks me up because I haven't been there in 30 years. I haven't lived there in 30 years. I've visited, but don't live there. So I'm a Londoner living in LA. So that answers that question. Indeed, I'm not. And never will be. Well, I might be a citizen at some point. I've never bothered really following through. Hasn't been a pull for me to do that. I'm still a British citizen with a permanent green card. That's the way I live life. And I feel, frankly, more like a global citizen than about being one country tied. I've been in 4 countries, so not sure where next. Probably still in the States. Well, it's in me, Lisa. It's not a British accent. You have an American one. I'm English. My accent doesn't have one. I'm English. That's the way it is. So, back to the conversation. How a relationship is a great reflector of who you are and who you've been, which is the opportunity. What do you mean no? What it comes back to is you get seen by who you are, and you'll hear from them, see from them, feel from your partner where you're on track and off track. It may not be blatant, it might be subtle, but it'll happen. So the more fine-tuned you are to your relationship and who you are, you're teaching your wife to be grumpy. All right, I'll put that on hold since you asked the question directly. You're such an impatient guy because you're asking questions right now. But what is it? So you're teaching your wife to be grumpy. Is that intentional or accidental? I'm guessing it's not intentional. I'm putting you to sleep? Well, my apologies. If it's late night for you, go to sleep. I'm not holding you to this scope. You can watch it in the replay if you want. I'm pretty tired myself, which is why I'm not like boisterous and up to energy. You're just too impatient. Here's the bottom line. Watch for your opportunities to grow. That easy. Jai, you know, it's that simple. I'm not trying to make this hard. I'm just making the topic out there. Some people may have a challenge with this. Some people may not. And if you like this, if you find this interesting, you want to find out more, stay tuned. If you don't feel it, it's fine to leave too. So that's the clarity of this. This is a lesson in opportunity in Kevin, you're welcome. I've not been told I'm an insomnia cure. Actually, there's somebody else I know who does audiobooks that I think is a great cure for insomnia, and he's way more boring than I am, so there. What I'm on is life. In fact, I just got done after spending most of the morning at my spiritual center. No, we didn't. Kevin, what's your deal? Are you just here to make lots of interesting, somewhat deplying comments? Let's see, you've got one heart, you're following two people, and you're actually doing two people, so I'm not feeling you really with this. So if you're not doing it, yeah. Thank you, Joy, I appreciate that, and thank you, Lisa. Kevin, if you're not interested, leave. And if you want to keep doing this, I'll just block you. So either way, bye, I don't mind. This is not about you. So, ooh, Lisa. I am pretty tired, to be honest. I mean, it's only 3:45 in the afternoon, but not since 6 this morning. I was at my spiritual center all morning, so full of love, joy, and light. But it's draining as well. Plus, I've had pancakes all morning. One of my friends bought her RV and was making pancakes all morning. I'll have you guys working together. Thank you. I appreciate that. See, this is a reflection too. People are great reflectors of our life, who we are, where we are. Okay, good. You know what, Kevin? Jump off now. Just fall asleep, be done with it, get it over with. It's not worth your time. Apparently you're not interested, and that's fine with me. I've gotten very clear on my work that many of the people who want to work with me don't end up doing it because I'm not the right person for them. And I'm fine with that because I only have so much time for a certain number of clients. And the ones that want to work with me are ready, committed. If you're willing to hang on, you can hang on, Kevin, and then drop off. It's fine with me. Lisa, be nice. Well, be somewhat. The bottom line is this. Again, your opportunity to grow, to evolve, to work is in front of you. And if you're going to be like this in conversation, this is a demonstration of your, hi from LA, I'm in LA too. So that's the thing. You can be as blatant, upset, frank as you want to be. It's a reflection of you, not me. So Kevin, whatever you're saying, you're projecting onto the world and people are responding to you because that's what you're putting out. This is a teaching about relationships in any form, romantic, human, social connection, whatever that is. If that's the way you keep putting things out, that's what you're going to get back. Not from me, it's all for you. So I'm making this very clear to you, all of you, that relationships are a reflector. Any relationship is a reflector. You'll get back to you what you're putting out. I know you are, so thank you, John, I appreciate that. People who are getting this are loving this. You know, Kevin, you keep demonstrating your limitation in thinking, your limitation in belief, and limitation to participate. So you can do whatever you want and keep putting comments up, and you can play with them. I have no problem with that. But I appreciate the people who are here that want to learn. And if you don't want to learn, it's not a problem for me. I've discovered through, actually recently, this whole thing about my comparison stuff. I appreciate that. I've discovered through conversation recently, remembering that we're also unique and different like snowflakes. I mentioned this in the scope last week. I'm a relationship coach is what I do, but I'm going to call myself that. Indeed. My work is, I'm called the Heartbreak Repair Specialist because my focus, my passion is helping women heal their hearts. Because I've broken a few in the past and I know a lot of women have been hurt in the past. I am probably one of about 40 different relationship coaches in my local community in Los Angeles, which scared me at first. Until we had a gathering. We gather once every 6 months just to socialize. And what I got when I looked around the room, all these people, is we all do the same thing. We all do it differently. There's no competition. And the recognition that we're all unique and divine works that in relationships. Who undid that? I didn't. I did fine. Well, you're very welcome. Kevin, where are you on the West Coast? Are you in England? Where are you, Kevin? I'm curious to know now, because maybe we're in England, in which case, good night. This for me is what I talk about, because a lot of people feel like they're comparing each other. When a guy gets jealous for no reason but doesn't want to commit, you should just walk away. Well, what's the benefit? Good night. My question for you is what is the benefit for you to stay? Thank you, Lisa. Everyone has their style and preference. I'm not going to block him. You know, he's not a troll. He's just a very self-amused character, and that's fine with me. Right. So, Jen, that's the thing. If you're not getting what it is that you want to be there for, then why are you there? It comes down to simple, it's simple physics, really. Attraction or not. If you don't feel it, then walk away. I mean, there are better people out there. I'm not blocking him. You can have him, Lisa. Enjoy being entertained by him. If he's not asleep yet, he may be asleep. So, Jen, to answer your question, or ask you a question, what's keeping you there? If there's nothing keeping you there, why be there? Well, if you're in love with him, what are you in love with him for? So, what is it about him that's loving you? If he's jealous and he doesn't care about you, are you there to get something satisfied? Are you there to think you're going to save him? What is it that's drawing you to stay there in love? What's the loving about? Well, I know it takes time to type and send it back, because Periscope sometimes slows things down in the back and forth communication. Is he going to throw your cats on him, Lisa? I've been through a lot of this stuff, but also a lot of my clients have, so my skill sets keep growing with that. So, so Jen, do you have a next response? I'm just checking where you are. This is going to be a quick scope just to talk about some stuff, and now it's become this whole dialogue amongst the people. I love it. I'll just stand here and watch. It's totally fine with me. Just keep tapping on the screen for hearts, though. I do welcome those. So, Jen, can I help you with anything further? It sounds like you've got some stuff to think about, and I'm not sure if you are sure what to do next. I presume you're still here. Have a quick look. I can see you. Doesn't show you. No, it doesn't show you, so I can't tell. Maybe on the web. Thanks. No, I think Friday happened. I got to 100,000 hearts, which I was so surprised about. And of course, I was going, wow, 100,000 hearts. And then one of my friends in Perry 10K, for his birthday this weekend, asked us to push him over 500,000. I was like, oh man. So I'm just enjoying it. I mean, breaking 100,000 now in 6 figures in hearts, it's kind of like, it doesn't mean anything as far as I know. I mean, it's a ranking thing, but I'm like, it's fine. It's fun because truth, this is all playground, you know. Okay, because different vibes. One day is devoted, the next day you can't commit. So he may have either a emotional or a physical thing of being, I won't say bipolar, because that's a clinical designation, which I don't have the skill to say. But if he's not someone who's consistent and you want consistency, he's not the right one. That simple. Now, if you love him, but you're only loving him for half the person he can be, that's not enough for you. What you need is somebody who's going to be with you and consistently with you the whole time, unless you don't mind that. But it sounds like you do mind that. So I would still advise you to get clear about what you want and probably walk away to make that happen, because you need to find the space for yourself to get what you want. I mean, it's the cold hard truth, as it were, because that's what's going on. So does that help you, Jen, or do you have any other question, or do you feel more stuff in that? Just waiting for a response. I think it's bipolar or something, but I give 100%, maybe 40%. It definitely helps. Okay, so Jen, you've got to be clear about what you want. And if it doesn't fit with him, exactly, his vitamin B shot. What I would say is that, Jen, for you, I really get that you are, how can I say this? You've got to get clear what you want. If you're willing to settle for 40% of who he is, then great, but I don't think you want that. You want 100%. And if he's not giving it to you, you've got to be willing to let go of what is working to get completely what does work. I talked about some of my previous scopes about the codependent model and that feeling like you're filling someone's piece or that you're feeling, or being feeling by someone else. Hey, I know you. Nice to have you here. That's one of the choice points. And if he can't provide it, the choice comes down to, are you willing to let go of what's not enough to get what is enough? That's the choice. And I'm being blatant about it because I want you to get that clearly from me. Hope it will. Hope that helps. Thank you for the hearts. So, was that Vitamin B? Was that Brie? Was that Bryn? I couldn't see who that was. I thought the picture showed me it was Bryn. I'm not sure. You're welcome, Jen. Hope I can help. And by the way, on my profile, I have a little link which is for a consult. If you want to talk about it, I give you a free discovery session. In the profile on Periscope, there are 2 live links. The first link is the consult, which is my discovery session, which is a free gift from me to you. And below that, another link. Yes, indeed, you are enough. Got did what? Did on my face? I don't know what that was. Yeah, it's Bryn. I figured it was you. I saw you this morning. I didn't talk to you though. Sorry. Bryn focused on Periscope. So Jen, sorry, but you know. So again, the top link is one that goes to a consult page. You want to just book a discovery session with me. And the second line is submit a donation button. I've got a tip jar I put on my profile saying, if you want to donate to my fund for my new iPhone, feel free to do so. So there's 2 links there. Again, live link for a discovery session. Okay, great. So again, go to my profile, bring it up. There's 2 lines. One's a live link for barryselby.com/consult, which is food. Oh, there is? No, I don't think it was. Thank you for checking, Bryn. I appreciate the feedback. The top one is a link to barryselby.com/consult, which is a discovery session. Just click on it, give you some stuff to fill out, and a time scheduler so we can talk. And if you're not local, we can do it by Skype or phone. The second line is the donation tip jar that I've got up there as well. So if you feel motivated to $3 through PayPal, I don't mind that too. A few $1,000s, it's all good. But Jan, I'm glad I could help you a little bit and give you some thoughts. And please reach out and book a session so we can talk. So, Bryn, am I okay now? May just be the facial hair. So, any other questions? Thanks for the hearts, by the way. I appreciate all the hearts all the time. Because now I'm going to go for 200,000. I broke 100,000. Let's go for the next 100,000. You know, may take a while. That took a month, the first one. But yes, great. I look forward to talking to you, and I'm glad. And you're in Los Angeles, so we can even meet in person if it works out schedule-wise. If not, by phone is fine. So I'm glad you found value. By the way, a quick plug. Since this is my love scope, this is my book. Let's promote that on my scopes. 50 Ways to Love Your Lover by me. That's me on the back. You find this book on Amazon in Kindle or physical. That you can get that either way. On my website, it's available as a PDF download if you want it in that format. It's more easy for you. If you have a Kindle, you can get it on Amazon or the physical book as well. So I recommend that for your reading. Lots of good principles. I've actually taught this week. I did 2 or 3 different chapters I spoke from in my scopes because it got pretty juicy and deep. And one of my followers, Monica, who's on here a lot, she got the book and she loves the book and she wanted me to explain one of the chapters more deeply, and so we got to do that, which was fun. So my book's a good platform to speak from, which I enjoy. So any other questions, any thoughts whilst we're here? Because yesterday's open-tabled Q&A ended up going for an hour, which was way beyond what I expected, so I was kind of thrilled by that. This was intended to be a topic, but now it's going into Q&A, which is fine with me, because I'm here to help. And if you have questions, feel free to post them. If you have any thoughts, I welcome them. So, which one's a great idea, the tip jar or the book? Or the Q&A, I'm not sure what you're asking or stating on. And again, thanks for the hearts, and please share with your followers and your friends on Twitter and Facebook and stuff. So any other questions? Any thoughts? I can wait for a few minutes. I love this helicopter head thing with the ceiling fan. Looks very strange. Anything else? It's gone quiet suddenly. There's no hearts, there's no movement. What happened? There we go. Hey, there you are. Oh, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. So, and there's Christy again. Hi, it's good to have you back. So I have to look at the profiles because I don't remember the names. Yeah, Christy, hopefully I gave you, because you were on yesterday, day before, yesterday. Hopefully you got some value from what we talked about, and if there's any way I can help you, let me know. Again, I had the consult link on my profile, as well as the tip jar PayPal link as well, the donate button. So that's actually my peri tips. I might do that again, the peri tip, to let people know about that, because that's something people forget. That now Periscope's been updated both on the web view. You know, I'll tell them at Periscope, this is my love scope. Let's stick to the message. Love and relationships. So, any advice on being patient? You mean unlike Kevin? I'm not a therapist, so I'll come back to you in a moment, Jai. But again, I'm not a therapist. I do have a master's degree in spiritual psychology, but I didn't go on for the MFT because I didn't want to be sanctioned by the government. But I've got 15 years as a spiritual counselor, and I've got 30 years of study, and I've been studying stuff for a long time. I'm very passionate about this. So that's your question, I think. So Jai, you're asking about being impatient. Frankly, breathe. I've been through the impatience a lot, especially with certain results, and the more I've let go, the easier it becomes. And the biggest piece of that is the more impatient we are. Well, thank you, I appreciate that. You know, I've got these grey hairs for a reason. I've earned them. And the lack of hair too, you know. But Jai, was to say was that the thing for impatience is really having a presence of already being there. Then there's no rush. So then we can focus on being in that state. This is the whole picture of this. Comes from the law of attraction, frankly. I do this in my work with my clients to really get them a vision of where they want to go by having them be in the result and how it feels. That becomes an attraction energy, because you're no longer thinking, I've got to get there, got to get there. Because when you're in that impatience, it's like having a carrot dangling in front of the donkey, you know. Oh, the book writing. Let me sidebar to that. This book, which is a pretty thick book, but it's got a lot of blank pages in it because it's got note pages for journal writing, like that. Right. Okay, so let me just say this. I did this book early on in my work because a friend of mine, actually, it started out with social media posts. Every one of the chapters was a social media post, and it took me. I did it in about 6 weeks worth of just posting every day, like something about relationships and love. People liked them, commented on them, shared them, etc. I then wrote them on a list and thought nothing of it. And for 2 weeks, I was arguing with spirit. That's the way I put it. An inner voice was saying, "Write a book," and I was going, "What do you mean? I'm going to do a workshop, or I'll do something else, or a blog post. There won't be a book." And for about 2 weeks, I argued with the inner voice saying, "Write a book." And eventually I finally was frustrated enough to turn inwardly towards that voice, as if I was saying to my best friend, "What do you mean write a book? What do you mean?" And as soon as I asked the question of how I'd write the book, it came forward. So this book, now bear in mind, I've had 9 careers before this, including graphic design, and I also did pre-press management in the printing industry, so I know how to do the physical structures of letterhead business cards and brochures. This was not in my scope, but the idea wasn't. First draft of the book, because I'd already written every chapter heading, all 50 of them, it took 6 weeks to write the whole book. Now, that sounds amazing. It took me 2 years to finish after that. So, how I wrote the book is the recommended way. Next time I do it, it'll be easier probably, because the biggest block was my emotional belief and resistance to finishing the book and being a published author. This is a #1 best-selling book on Amazon. I didn't plan that. It scared me, frankly. And the biggest piece of this, to be really raw and authentic, I talk about in my work about, for a man in his masculine, purpose comes first, before relationship. One of my teachers, David Data, which is D-E-I-D-A, who's out of upstate New York, I've studied with a really good teacher, bizarre as well, but good teacher. He said that for the masculine man, purpose comes before relationship. Because when we know why we're here, we can get strong in that, then we can have a relationship that's healthy. And I've been practicing that. What time took the most? This piece I'm talking about now. Because it wasn't the writing of the book. It was all the stuff in the way of releasing it. I said 6 weeks to do the first pass, then put it on the back burner because I was distracted. And I got scared. And what I found out afterwards, looking back, because it was all in hindsight, was I knew that up until that point, my work wasn't solid. Now, I'm about relationships and romance and care. Well, women are different from men. I'll get to you in a minute on that one. I'll get to you in a minute on that, sorry. Nice reframe, Cat. That's good catch. Here's the thing. For men, we are generally more sequential, linear. So we do purpose first, relationship second. Women have the ability to do things more in parallel. It's one of the gifts the feminine has, which I really appreciate. And men can do it when they go in their feminine, but I was looking and owning and really merging with my masculine. Because up to that point, I'd really been distracted from it, been pulled away because I was doing such spiritual counsel, heart work. I was in more of my feminine most of the time. So up to that point, my work was still theory. Even though I was coaching, doing other things, having this made my purpose tangible in the world. So all of the shit inside, all the fear inside, all the worry inside about being real, being found out, was tied to this. Because all my coaching was fine. But if someone called me a fraud or something, which just happened, it's harder to hide if I have a book. So there was a lot of stuff in the way for me to publish this, which is what the 2-year delay was. It wasn't the book, it wasn't the writing of it. It was all my comfort and confidence and trust in myself to release the book, to publish it. Actually, it was about 18 months. Yeah, about 18 months, it wasn't 2 years. But it took that long to write the book, publish it. And the thing is, once I did write the book, part of me finally was like, oh, I can do this. So it was a big shift for me. And so the book writing wasn't the issue, it was the emotional baggage that goes with it. Now, you may not have the same issue I did. That was my journey. And part of it also is because the work I'm doing is so committed to the relationship path, I'm very selective on who I date. I have to be. Because I cannot have my relationship partner be my project. That won't work for me or her. Well, it might work for her, it won't work for me. I need a partner that is doing this work together with me. That's another book I'm going to write. It's come up in conversation a couple of times. Yeah, there's a few ways to love your lover. There's a few ways to love yourself. Yes, I know, I remember that. We talked about that the other day. You're welcome, Jai. And I'm actually, to be totally forthright, since I wrote my book and published it myself, I've had 4 clients who were friends of mine. Well, one was a client, 3 were friends of mine, who were in the process of self-publishing their own books, and they came to me for help, and I've now become this expert somehow in book self-publishing. So if that's something you're looking for help with, let me know. I'm just putting it out there, not saying you need it, but it's something I've become skilled in because I've done it myself. And in fact, I've even, as I said, managed to make this into the #1 bestseller on Kindle, because now I know how to do it. I just told a friend of mine this morning how to do that, because she was hiring me for that too. So it's not my primary focus, my business. You're welcome. It's really, here's the thing. It doesn't matter how good or bad you think your book is. There's always someone out there who can learn from it. That's the bottom line. So your book may not be as good as like Jack Canfield or Neil Donald Walsh or you know those teachers. It's not relevant. If somebody gets value from your book, you've done your job. And people have told me they got value from my book, so I'm happy. If it becomes a bestseller like on the New York Times, awesome. If Oprah gets it, awesome. But the truth is that my book's already had impact. It's actually changed people's lives, and that is value beyond the money I make from it. It's so touching that my words can help somebody have a better relationship with themselves and with their partner. That's really cool. So, yeah, so it's a challenge at times, and it's an incredible journey to become an author. How did I promote it? Yeah, I'm glad I could help. How did I promote it? I mean, for the bestseller on Kindle, that was a word of mouth. I did some research to find out how to get #1 on Kindle, and then I found out how many books I had to sell. So I just changed the price on Kindle to be very low, and I emailed, texted, and called all my friends and said, can you buy the book? And if I sold enough books, I passed the previous #1 bestseller, and I got #1. That simple. But marketing, literally, I've sold more books talking about it on Periscope over the last 3 weeks than I have online. I have one bookstore I can sell it in because being self-published, big stores like Barnes & Noble won't carry it. They need a distributor, which I don't have because I'm doing it direct from Amazon. But I have a bookstore I sell it through, and they've sold out 4 times so far, which sounds impressive, but it's only like a dozen books at a time. So it's not like selling thousands of books. I sell it on Amazon. You're welcome. I sell it on Amazon as well in Kindle and physical book, and most times word of mouth. I do give it to my coaching clients who sign up because they invest enough money. I give them the book as a gift. Absolutely. I'm glad I could help you, Jai. Yeah, I'm becoming a book expert, which isn't planned, but it may become a sideline. Who knows? The book really is a calling card. She has an ebook on Kindle, as in she has her own book on Kindle. She has my book on Kindle. If she wants help with getting #1, I can help her. You can put her in touch with he or her. I said a hard time selling it. If you want to put him in touch with me, I can give him some tips, and maybe he wants to hire me for a little coaching on how to do the number one thing, which can be good. The thing about Kindle and Amazon is there are millions of books through Amazon and Kindle. So to become a number one seller, you've got to be in the right category first. And two, you've got to be willing to not be number one, because there are so many books out there to compete with. I'm in the relationship arena. Do you know how many relationship books are out there? There are thousands of them. Many of them I've read, and I respect the authors. But now I'm in the same boat, which is very strange. And in fact, just a sidebar slightly, I'm in a telesummit that's going on right now, which you can still get on to, because I think I'm either going to repeat my expert interview this week rather, where 4 of the experts on the summit, 3 of them, excuse me, there's 4 experts in particular on the summit who are people I've studied with. 3 of them are authors whose books I have. And now I'm on the same summit as them. It stretches me into like, I'm equal to them. So it's really pulling me out of my comfort zone in a good way, because I'm now moving because I think I told you how to get the consult page. If you want to book a consult, talk to me anyway, that's one option. If you're on my website, there's a contact button on my website. So any questions, any thoughts, for my book or for my brand, or both? 50 ways to, oh, by the way, just another thing. This is a tip for anybody who does self-publishing. Physical book, not Kindle, if you don't have it in Kindle. This thing here, that's what's called an ISBN. It's actually the barcode from an ISBN, which is the unique identifier for media. Oh, it is, definitely. This is what you have to have at the beginning to go with your title. I didn't do it the right way the first time. I got gifted one of these by somebody else, and I didn't know that this ISBN is tied to them, not to me. So when I first had my original title, which wasn't this, it was with a different barcode. Different, there's a lag, yes. This ISBN is a permanent identifier in the Library of Congress. So when you buy this and define it to a title, even if you don't have a physical book, it's permanent. And I didn't realize when I used that one, it was the wrong one to use. So I had to buy a new one. And when I did that, I couldn't change the title over to the new ISBN. Okay, glad you will. So this is actually my second title, and it's much better than the first one was. So I'm very grateful. Darryl Williams, thank you, and appreciate you putting me in touch so you can help him. So this title is actually the second title I had for my book. It was actually a subtitle, but it worked out better as the main title, funnily enough. Yeah, that's your title now. I was saying it was something else that was called, it's called Rules of Romance, which was cute sounding, but it wasn't really, it didn't speak to the women as much. This title lands for my feminine audience much more powerfully. So, all I can say is this whole path was guided by something bigger than me. I'll put it that way. So, any other questions, any thoughts? Do you want to check in? So, if you're still on, any hearts, I think we're about wrapping up. This was originally slightly tired post because I was exhausted after a full day at my spiritual center this morning. So I just want to check in and see if there's anything else. If not, I will sign off now and come back later. Thanks for the hearts again, much appreciated. I will do a peri tip. Actually, I'll do a peri tip next, because that's the one thing I promised to do, is this love, scope, and periscope. Love, scope, and peri tip every day. Oh gosh, what? You say that and there's nothing else. I'm like, what does that mean? So yeah, if there's any more questions or any thoughts here, I'll answer them. Otherwise, that worked out good. Okay, I'm glad it did. I'll be off, and then I'll be back on again to do a peri tip shortly, which will be a little plug again for those 2 links, live links in my profile, which is again for a discovery session with me, or to donate through the tip jar to my iPhone fund. So welcome. If you feel like throwing $5, $10, $1,000 into my tip jar, feel free to do so. It's all on the link in my profile on Periscope. So anything else? Oh, grateful to share, and thanks for asking the questions. I mean, it gives me more content in terms of sharing it, but also it reminds me of what I do know. It's really interesting how you're gonna make some dinner. Enjoy. Yes, enjoy your evening too. I know you're back in Texas, so that's what 2 hours ahead. Yes. This venue of Periscope is so incredible. So I'm grateful for that because it just stretched me into my expertise and it reveals how much I know. So it makes me realize I've got content which I may not believe for a while. So thank you. It's great to have these questions out there and answered. So anything else before I sign off and go on to my other scope and then go out and do some, going to get my bike out and go for a ride. It's after 4 o'clock, but it's starting to cool down a bit, so I'm going to get out and get some exercise, get some fresh air. Well, as fresh as you can get in Los Angeles. Anything else? I think I'm wrapping up. I'm going to give you a few seconds, because I know the typing takes longer to get over Periscope's broadband connection. I think we're complete. Well, thank you for watching. Thanks for being here. I'm going to sign off here and then come back in with my Peri tip. And you already got a hint of it in this one. I'll do it formally in my next Periscope. And make sure you follow me, please, because it's something I love to do, is sharing tips and guidance from what I do. All right? Thank you for watching. Thanks for being here. Thanks for the hearts once again. I'll be right back again to do my Peri tip for the day, and then I'm going to take off and go for a ride. So thanks for being with me. Thanks for asking questions. Please follow me on Periscope, of course. And if you have any questions, reach out. I'm here to help. Take care of yourselves. All right, you're going to keep doing hearts. I'll hang out for a few more seconds. I do appreciate you being here, so much appreciated. Any more? I think that's it. All right, folks. Take care of yourselves. And I'll be... okay. I'll be back on again in a few minutes doing the Peri tips. This one is complete, I believe. Thanks for watching, and have a great evening. And I'll talk to you later, next Periscope, and or tomorrow. All right, cool. See you folks later. Have a wonderful time, and I will see you soon.